Coisa me correto, coisa tá.
I believe Elena is gonna join shortly. Just give a minute. So I hope you guys are having another 15 minutes with you, right? Venkat, you are having 15-20 minutes with you?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, okay,
I
okay. Which is kind of reducing the cost to the customer also, because in most of the cases what we do is we create a model where we will give some benefit to the customer and customer also, right? I'm implementing a robot. This is going to save X cost, out of which I will take a share of 40%, and customer will take a share of 60%, right? So customer would be happy, right? So whatever satisfaction level that we get, CSAT that we call it as, right? So that is where one of the important benefit. Then obviously there is a chance of reducing the AST by whatever percentage. I mean, this 80% may be a very hypothetical figure, because in some of the cases we are able to reduce only 50%, or maybe less than that also. But it really depends on the the process and the pace of the process. That's how I look at, right? Then again, our up to the 90% reduction in our average response time also, right? So because the response is very quick, right? So for example, I get a request at late night where the human being is not available, but robot does not have any boundary, right? Robot will trigger the task as soon as it receives the email, or gets the input, right? So the average response time is one of the important factor here. Then obviously no impact on the security. Security, when I talk about, obviously we are just working, or maybe we are just mimicking the human action. So there is no separate security restriction there, right? That we normally hear a lot while doing a legacy or maybe application development. It is not the case here with RPA. uh, Obviously, increased ROI that we have spoken number of times, the FTE benefits and error-free system, etc., etc. Then same headcount for triple the activity. Absolutely, if a human being will take off the robotized task, right? So for this is one of the common benefit, right? All the monotonous tasks, all the mundane sort of tasks have been parked or have been given to the robot. I will have a lot of time for me to do a value added activities, which will create a virtual workforce within the operations, etc. So these are the common benefits. Everybody talks about it. I thought of putting this here. And that's it. The journey begins now. So this is basically a RPA Gyan where we have gone through. If I summarize this session, then we can easily say that we have gone through the what is the objective of this overall training, then what are the various actions, what are the things which have been performed by the RPA. Then we have spoken about the vendors involved into this RPA world. We have obviously given some example, and I would want to pick up one more use case or a case study which is pertaining to the telecom domain. Definitely I'll give it to you, which will help us. For example, if I talk about alarm monitoring process, right? So which is one of the whenever you talk to a telecom guy, you will find one of the useless thing is to do the monitoring of the alarm, right? So if I give you a very brief idea about the telecom, how it works is there are various nodes, right? So this telecom is like the Vodafone or Airtel or any of the customer, right? So they have got a lot of nodes which are implemented at various sites, right? So whenever there is a failure at any of the node, there is a trigger to the monitoring body or the control room, where a team of 100 200 people are just sitting and watching the alarms like one of the big monitor, and everybody is just looking at it. Okay, if any alarms comes, and you won't believe this is a 24/7 activity. In a day they might get one alarm, they might get 100 alarm, they might get thousands alarm. There is no I would say continuity of the alarms, etc. And this is one of the useless thing for a team of 100 200 engineers sitting in a room or sitting in a very big area of the telecom service providers who all are there. So this is one of the very mundane task of just looking at the alarm window and see whether alarms comes or not comes. So if we kind of try to implement robot instead of human being, just robot monitor the alarms and trigger it to the right person for handling it. If we just automate this piece only, then you can assume that we can eat, because 24/7 we may have to run with a 5-seater, right? We may have to have 5 people in our this shift to cater this 1 seat demand. So you can imagine we are going to replace 5 people just by implementing one robot. One of the biggest disruption which is there into the market today, it's by RPA. We can just implement one robot and get rid of 5 people. Obviously there are we cannot get rid of just 5 people. There are chances we may have to keep 1 person or 2 people for handling the exceptions or the exceptional scenarios, criticalities. However, if you bar that also, maybe 1:3 people we can easily reduce. So another big use case of this telecom industry that we can see here. Now, obviously, we have already spoken about what are the ways that we need to keep in our mind while defining the scope of automation, and that we have already gone through in detail. Then the planning phase, the life cycle of this automation, we have touched upon that. What is the life cycle? And to our understanding as a whole soul, we should always keep it in our mind that we are going to only focus on waterfall. If we are going to even focus on agile, then we are not doing the agile like as it is agile. It is just like splitting it into various sub waterfall projects or processes. That's how I can call it as. Right, then again, the benefits that we have spoken about RPA. So So that's it for now. Until unless something special, Venkat, for now you want to understand in this, and maybe Dilip, anything which is
I am
pending.
good, Vikas. Thanks.
All right.
I think we are good for this session. This is going like a wonderful session for each and everyone. Unfortunately, Ranjit had some medical emergency in the family, so he discontinued, and Elena with some internet problem. So looking forward
All right.
for this thing moving ahead. Okay. And
Tomorrow, when is the next schedule? Dilip?
yeah, so
Dilip.
yeah, it's totally
Yeah, when is
depend.
the next? Yeah.
Yeah, it totally
Right.
depend
So
on the other students and Vikas sir. Obviously, we'll let you know when.
Okay.
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 no, so what we'll do is, Venkat, so just to summarize and help you, right? So you have got some dope today, right? So you have got some
Sure.
understanding of this RPA, how it is evolving and all. So I would request you to do a little YouTube. There is a hell lot of material. Don't go to a lot of bigger level of ideas, but just refer a couple of good case studies which are there into the market. uh, do a thorough study. I think that will give you a lot of content in understanding why we have picked up this process, what are the benefits, etc., etc. And then we can as Dilip mentioned, depending on the sprints, I think we don't want to leave somebody behind, right? Because I have to repeat everything again and again. So
Yeah.
that is the reason we'll try to have a discussion with the folks. Maybe if tomorrow is not possible, then we'll try to deliver one session during the week, and then obviously if that will work out, we'll do our trend stuff that we
Yeah.
have been following.
Only thing is
All
it
right.
helps like to planning
Absolutely. Absolutely. No,
advance
you will
hours.
get a advance notification. I think the leap will definitely uh, do a
Yeah,
liaison
definitely.
with this.
We'll
Right.
get back to you before.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Thanks.
Thanks, here.
Thanks.
Take care.
Thank
Bye.
you.